Good morning, my dear friends and family. It's Gord, your hurtin' hippie, with a pondering. It is Tuesday after a long weekend, so it's Monday too. The revisit, the return. Anyways, today's pondering is brought to you by Ian Munn. He asked, can you talk about using cannabis to help get off alcohol or other addictive stuff? And that's a really great question. That's a really great question, and one that I haven't covered in a long time. I want to give you a story. June 5th, 2003. Let's back up a bit. April 2003. I was sitting with my manager having a beer. We were on a business trip in Edmonton. We were in a hotel. And he noticed how my hands were shaking and I hadn't felt well for a while. And we were talking about that, and he told me, you really got to get in and have it looked at. And so I did. And a few tests later, June 5th, 2003, the doctor called me in for a consult and gave me the news that I had 6 months to 2 years to get my things in order, that my liver had given up. He told me I have cirrhosis. I asked him, can I quit drinking? What can I do? And he says, well, you can get on a list for a new liver, but because you're a drinker and there's other people on the list and all that, you just may not get one. It was devastating. Out of habit, I drove home that day. I stopped twice crying. And then I went before I got home, I went to the liquor store and I bought a six pack. And I got home and I'm putting the six pack in the fridge and realizing what a bloody habit that had become. And I poured every single beer down the sink and said, I won't drink again. And I did not. And you also know I'm here. So I did survive the liver troubles. That's another story. I just lived really well, prayed really hard. The family got together so often in prayer vigils and homeopathy and all that stuff, and we solved it. It took almost the full 2 years, but my liver started to turn, and I now have healthy liver function tests. I still get tested very often. So that was 2003. But I gotta tell you, June 5th, 2003, it was easy to not drink. June 6th, it was still kind of easy to not drink. I was still talking to my kids, telling them the bad news. It was probably a couple of weeks at least that I didn't even think of drinking. I really didn't. That was devastating. But then the drinking desire came up. I don't remember. It could have been a couple of days, but it felt like a couple of weeks. And I had been probably 6 months to a year without any cannabis. But I knew a friend who had some black hash. So instead of drinking, I went and got the black hash and I got high that night. And I realized, this is better. Because I woke up the next day ready for a day. Better than normal, not worse. I think cannabis is a wonderful, wonderful tool to exit addiction. It's a way that you can still keep your mind somewhat at ease while you're going through the withdrawals that you will go through. And while still giving you some enjoyment, because you need enjoyment out of life, and it is hard to quit things. I've quit a few things in my life, and I've done them all cold turkey. 5 years after I quit drinking, I quit smoking. That was a decade ago, and I am so happy I did that. Again, quitting smoking was really tough, but cannabis helped me through it. And had I known then about CBD, the quitting smoking wouldn't have been so hard. The withdrawals would have been easier because CBD withdraws the withdrawals. So there we are. We're 5 minutes in. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I do think that it's a wonderful tool to exit addiction. It is not a gateway drug, it's an exit drug. It is the return to normal, whatever the hell normal is. So, friends, peace and cheers, love and harmony. I'll give you an update. I'll give you a quick update. My son's still sick. I'm feeling a little better. We're getting there. It's a rough week, but we're going to get through it. Thanks to all of you, and thanks all your well wishes. Pasha says thank you too. Bye.